Hey, we're Blue Skies for Black Hearts, and you're watching PDX Spotlight.
It's all breaking and taking much longer, and now you don't feel like you really belong here. And it's left you to begin to have questions. Were your dreams correct, or were they misconceptions? You're so lucky you can't see right from wrong. You're so lucky you can't see right from wrong. One foot in front of the other, count yourself lucky for sisters and brothers that you are able to call on when you are in need of a true friend, companion, a guide star. You're so lucky you can't see right from wrong. You're so lucky you can't see right from wrong. Stop and let yourself feel a little frightened. Gotta keep on keeping on. Nothing's gonna hold you back from happiness. Keep on keeping on. You're so lucky you can't see right from wrong. You'll never stop, gotta keep on keeping on. Keep on keeping on. You'll never stop, gotta keep on keeping on. 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 Keep on. Keep on keeping on. Keep on keeping on.
Welcome to PDX Spotlight. I'm your host, Natasha Haynes, and tonight I'm sitting down with Blue Skies for Black Hearts.
Thanks for having us.
Welcome to the show, gentlemen.
Thanks.
If you had to put an age on this band, how old would you say this band is?
I think it's about 15 years now.
15 years, but only like 2 in dog years. But
Yeah.
no.
Yeah, it's about 15 years. I think I started working on the first batch of songs for this in probably 1999. And I think I remember kind of mixing that record it was either at the end of 99 going into 2000 or 2000 into 2001. I don't remember which. And it was just a few months after that I met up with Mike, and that was kind of the genesis of the band. It was playing those songs, figuring out how to play them live.
So then it was the two of you.
It was the two of us and a drummer, and we had a keyboard player occasionally. We didn't have a bass player for a little while. And then we got a show opening for Of Montreal and also with the Minders. And we figured it'd be a good idea to get a bass player for that show. And we've had a bass player of
Since
some
then,
kind
yeah,
of,
since
yeah,
then.
ever since then.
I played bass on one song, but my bass playing is terrible. So when we got to actually like a decent show, it was like, yeah, man, that's not happening.
So then fast forward, we've got 6 albums later, right?
Roughly, we just put out our 6th studio album, yeah.
Self-entitled. Mm-hmm. Now, why did you wait
I don't know.
this long?
We had interesting or we kind of I got into titling the albums for the first bunch, and we always had titles that I thought were, pretty cool or whatever, like Serenades and Hand Grenades, or our previous album to this one was Embracing the Modern Age. And we kind of went through a lot of just topsy-turviness, getting the last couple records and getting into this record. And this one, like, I spent a lot of time writing the songs and really honing things. And when we kind of got everything done and we were going to title the record, I couldn't find a title that didn't, like, include things about the record. It kind of, everything was excluding something. And so I just kept on, like in my playlist on my computer, I just kept on putting Blue Skies for Black Hearts in the title to fill space. And then I kind of started liking it. So that's
Just
what
kind
it
of
became.
stuck?
I said we should call it Help, but you're all, no,
Yeah.
there's already a really popular album by that name.
Yeah.
No.
Is it just you that starts the song, or?
Yeah, like 95% of the time they're complete, like as far as like words, chords, and not really so much arrangement completely,
Right.
but like a lot of ideas about the arrangement, and then I'll bring them in, and with this particular group of guys, I just let you guys hack away at it, because I kind of have an idea. I've been playing with Mark for, I don't know how long, 20 years?
A long time.
Long time.
A long time, yeah.
And Mike for, greater than 15, and so I kind of have an idea what they're going to do, and I just let them go, and it turns out really good.
I think sometimes we talk, and when Pat comes in and brings in songs, he'll talk in music. So he'll talk about, reference other songs or other sounds. Sometimes when he's got a feeling where he wants one of us to go. Not always, but so a lot of times he'll say, check out track 3 of this record, and go away and come in the next practice and try and kind of take something from that and expound on it within the music, whether it's some kind of inspiration, whether it's tone or approach to notes or those sorts of things.
I think, yeah, we definitely took that method a lot more in the past than on this particular record, but that's definitely something that we've employed and done. This one, it was just funny. I just let you guys go. It was just mainly about, I rehearsed you guys to death before we finally went into the studio to record them. I just, made us go out and play a million shows, and we had regular practices, which was something that I don't like doing, and
We don't do very much.
Don't do very much, and I really wanted it to be kind of like they knew the songs so well that it was just really natural, going into playing them. People weren't having to think about what they were playing. They were just there playing and, being in the moment.
Right. I love it. So, Mike, you said something about finding that inspiration or feeling. Where do you find that feeling or inspiration?
I find it a lot in Pat's melodies. That kind of tends to be where I start. Either there'll be a counter melody in my head once I've heard the song a couple times, or a lot of times I'll take bits of his melodies and place it throughout the song. 'Cause to me, it's all about the way that the song is, and Pat's songwriting is so good that to me it's really important that everything that I'm doing is supporting the song as a whole and supporting the music. Those hooks that you remember forever, part of the reason that you remember them forever is you hammer them in subtle ways throughout the song, or at least that's my theory on it.
Expect me where you're going. So began my search for the old weird America. You can tempt your fate on a Montana Greyhound bus going 65. That ain't really tempting. Nothing came today. Nothing came in the mail today. But nothing ever comes anyway. You could go for broke, and if we never spoke again, and you moved to the desert with a hole in your cup and hating your back, blowing you around town to town. Nothing came today. Nothing came in the mail today. But nothing ever comes anyway. Sooner or later. Sooner or later, you're gonna figure it out. Sooner or later, you're gonna figure it out. Sooner or later. Soldier charged the compound, only to be taken down. The general's blind, and the suits can't make up their collective minds. Meanwhile, more men are dying. Nothing came today, and nothing came in the mail today, but nothing ever comes anyway.
So what do you think makes a good song?
I don't know. That's the mystery.
Us.
I don't know. There's something for me, like, because I definitely have this idea of like what a perfect song is and what a perfect song isn't. But it's the ones that are perfect to me, like they there's some line in it somewhere, or there's something that captures you, that makes you really relate, or really you know, and it's got to have great melody and all those things that bring you in too. But it literally can get down to a single line. I'm just thinking of this record. I was just mixing this record for this band No River from Calgary, Canada. And he had this line, and it was both the line and it was the way he phrased it. And they're a country band. And he said, and the line, and I, like as soon as I heard this, like I was like, oh man, that's a great song. And I got really into what I was doing. But the line is, and he unfolds it, he goes, I took you out. And then like, there's a little pedal steel lick and a thing there. And then his next line is, what a waste of money. And it turns everything on its head and changes the whole meaning. And I think it's kind of, you know, great songs are like great jokes. There's kind of a setup and a punchline and sometimes a twist. And
Make you think.
yeah, they bring you in some way. It's not always like just sentimentality, you know, or things like that. You know, the ones that are smart are my favorite.
All right, speaking of smart, so you gotta quit kicking my dog. Who are we talking about?
Nobody in particular. I was reading a book.
Us.
Yeah. I was reading a book by Grail Marcus called Invisible Republic, and it's kind of about, it's sort of about Bob Dylan's basement tapes, or the time that he recorded them, or at least the idea. It's that collection of songs, whatever that, like, I mean, there's something like 160 songs that he recorded over the summer in a basement in Woodstock. And this book is about that collection of songs, and Grail Marcus is arguing that that it's kind of, you know, one of the arguments in the book is that it's Dylan's return to, he's uncovering the true America that everybody's covered up through like this, you know, ancient folk music that he's unburying. And one of the songs mentioned in the book as it was going along was this song from the 1920s called You Gotta Quit Kicking My Dog. And I saw that and I was like, man, that is a great title. And that was like one of those things I was like, I don't even have to hear that song. And just from the title, I know that's a great song. And so I was like, well, I'm gonna write my own version now. And so I sat down and I just like, it came out like just vomit on a paper. It was really fun to do. It was just like boom, and it was all there in 20 minutes.
He'd been drinking.
And I'd probably been drinking some red wine. And it just kind of all came out. It was great, and I still hadn't heard the song from the 1920s, and I played it a few times, and I was sitting in my living room cracking myself up playing this thing. And on this particular day, it was perfect because our old bass player then like totally yanked us around. It was like he'd scheduled practice and canceled practice and all this kind of thing. And so even though the song wasn't written about him or anything like that, like it immediately, because I wrote it that day and then he was jerking the band around, it was like, hey, you gotta quit kicking my dog, man. And so, yeah, I mean, I think that from there he kind of ended up owning the song, like in that way, but it wasn't really about him.
Since you got so lazy, only talking to your ghost, pitching the midnight anchor while the rest of us are swimming the moat. You gotta quit kicking my dog. You gotta quit kicking my dog around. If you want a better world, you gotta quit kicking my dog around. Wow, victims of misdirection need to be all camera shy. It ain't your job to say cut when the audience is asking why. You gotta quit kicking my dog. safe bet, though it may have been illegal. Gotta give a bit in order to get and transform what you cannot steal. You gotta quick kick in my dog. You gotta quick kick in my dog. Around. If you want a better world, you gotta quick kick in my dog. Around. All right.
You're not just musicians, you're humanitarians as well. Isn't that right, Mike?
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
On occasion, in my good days.
So I want to hear about this trip to Afghanistan you took to work in a music school.
Yeah, so I went a couple times in the last year or so. There's a rock school in Kabul that was started about 5 years ago. And honestly, I caught wind of it. It was literally that random. I caught wind of it from some friends of mine, one of whom was working with another aid organization in Afghanistan, and decided really kind of on a bit of a whim to go. It sounded like a really cool project. The idea behind the school was that it was more than just about teaching music, though it was very much about that. And it was beautiful in that it was open to anyone who wanted to learn. There was no rules. So the ages were 4 to 40, men, women, boys, girls, some of them expats, some of them locals. And it sounded like a really cool thing to be a part of. And when I say that, what I mean is that, like, for me, music has been where I've found my best friends, and it's where I've found my calling to some extent, and it's taken me around the world. All of these wonderful positive things have come from the fact that I was able to, at 18, have a cheap guitar and a crappy amp and plug in and play as loud as I want. And it just seemed like, with all the opportunity that's here in Portland, which is wonderful, the rock schools and Rock Camp for Girls, which I love those organizations, that someplace like Afghanistan was a place that really needed that, and particularly in a conflict zone. Hope is a very palpable thing and a very powerful thing. So I raised some money and I got on a plane and I price lined my plane into Afghanistan, and I showed up and got picked up by strangers and
Brought a bunch
whisked
of
off.
instruments over.
And then the second time we went, I worked with another good friend of both of Pat and mine, Jerry Joseph, who's a fabulous Portland artist. And we worked together to raise, in all honesty, between in-kind and money, I think we raised about $50,000. Brought $10,000 plus worth of music gear over to the school, and then went over there and taught as well, him and I together. So it's kind of an ongoing thing for me. Things change a lot in Afghanistan, so you have to be flexible, but there's certainly a part of me that will kind of always be focused there from now on, and whatever I can do to kind of encourage music, which is so beautiful about Afghanistan, is they have this long music history that no one really knows about. They have their own instruments, like the rubab, which is this beautiful droney guitar type instrument, and so it's really cool to be able to be involved in something that's really a burgeoning new rock scene, but in a culture that really loves music. So it's been a really great experience. Honestly, I probably get more out of it than the kids do, but it was really, really, really powerful and really meaningful to me to go.
Risky, but incredibly brave.
It's nice of you to say. I was in Kabul, which is probably the safest place you could be in Afghanistan. So I would say that my students are the brave ones who pick up a guitar in a place where it's not always the most popular to do so.
Well, music has an incredible way of bringing people together.
True, absolutely true.
Blue skies for Black Hearts. Thank you guys for sitting down with me tonight.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're writing love scenes while pretending everyone around you doesn't know. I'd like to keep your company a lifetime. Please don't go. Don't go. Ooh, 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 yeah, 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 yeah. We like to stay up until sunrise. We'll get some rest tomorrow. 'Cause I won't make that compromise. I won't go. I won't go. Gonna write you a love scene, the perfect ending to our own show. We can live out one of our dreams, a love scene. You and me, it could be. Ooh, ooh, yeah, 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 yeah. Now the work week is returning. That means back on the job you go. I read your book. I couldn't set it down. I think you know. Yeah, you know. I loved your book. I reread the love scene. The gumshoe and the heiress in the back of her auto. We could live out one of our dreams, a love scene. You and me, it could be a love scene. You and me, the perfect dream.